Welcome back, everybody. It's Joseph here for Zenny62. So, Loki episode 3. This episode was a little bit lackluster for me, but I do realize after the episode it is setting up episodes 4, 5, and 6. But one of the interesting things that was revealed, I'll discuss with you in a minute. But Loki opens up in this scene here where Lady Loki or Sylvie, whoever you want to refer to, has hypnotized this guard, and what we realize is under this hypnotic state, we realize she had a previous memory that was on Earth. And the little funny anecdote throughout the series is that she loved margaritas. And so that tells you a little bit of the surprise moving forward when the reveal does occur. It's at this point that we go into present time when Loki went through that time portal and followed her, and where she ended up going was obviously to the Time Variance Authority hub. They begin to fight, squabble, and get into it, and eventually Loki gets the upper hand. Now, once they settle down, they decide, well, this is the part where Loki steals the time pad and has the time pad with him. So as the guards approach and try to arrest the both of them, they get transported to this other world, and they land on what looks like a purple moon base, and it turns out to be a base but also a functioning city. It's here where we realize that they inevitably find out from some locals that that moon base or that planet will soon be destroyed by another planet or a meteor shower or asteroids. So their whole plan now is to work together to escape that planet. And they want to try to get passage on this super train that allows them to leave and maybe go to a different location where they can get flight or go somewhere else. And it's here that it is revealed that everybody here in the Time Variance Authority were also variants. And so what that tells us is that either they could be from Earth or somewhere else, but they weren't made or they weren't raised as variants. So it's in the middle of this uneasy truth that Loki decides that he wants to partake in the free champagne, and gets to the point where Loki does get inebriated and forgets that he is trying to portray himself as an aristocrat, which gave him passage in the super train. And it turns out that once he is drunk, he reverts back to wearing his old variant jacket and starts singing like this Irish jig, and continues to act a fool when other passengers realize this guy is not who he claims to be or appears to be. And that is when they get in trouble with the guards of the train. A fight ensues, and the eventuality of this is that they get thrown off the train. So what I'm going to talk about will be somewhat of a spoiler warning, if you consider it that. So once they come to grips that they're stuck together, they start to have a heart-to-heart, and Loki asks him how she works her powers, or how she manifests the enchantments. What leads to speculation, is she Sylvie, is she Lady Loki, or the Enchantress? And she tells him basically I have to hold somebody physically and wrap my powers around the brain to extract memories. And that's how she manipulates her foe. So as we come closer to the end of the episode, we do find Loki, Lady Loki, Sylvie, the Enchantress, whoever she may be, arriving to what's called the Ark. And the Ark, what appears to be, is some kind of ship that will allow them to escape that doomed planet, the moon base. And so as they approach and get closer to the Ark, they realize they're confronted with other guards. Everything starts going awry. the meteor shower or the doomed planet starts eroding by the crushing of another planet landing on top of not only the planet, but the eventuality of destroying the ark or the ship that was supposed to allow him to leave the doomed planet. And the last scene, we do see Sophie and Loki staring at the ark as it's being destroyed. So the destruction of the ark slash the ship leaves them puzzled and leads us to question or wonder what they're able to do now. So now that we, having said that, let's take some time to wrap up episode 3. So as I said, to me it was a little bit lackluster, but I do appreciate and understand that they're setting up the final 3 episodes. Let's talk about the potential Easter eggs. In the middle of a heart-to-heart discussion, we do find out that she talks about enchantments. So that leads us to believe, is she the Enchantress? And the biggest Easter spoiler warning you want to find out is that the variants, the TVA staff are all variants, and they don't realize they're variants. And it looks like somehow through the Nexus or what have you, they were placed in the TVA, their minds were erased, and they don't realize they either come from Earth or another time continuum where they were just regular people. So that wraps it up for episode 3. Keep it here for Zenny62, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I did want to add one last thing. So if you looked at the episode, you realize is that once they leave the TVA authority where they can't utilize their powers, they half-heartedly use their powers for silly things and not take the full advantage of what each one of them can do. And it seems that was kind of like a plot point that was maybe intentionally done to get through or put them in situations where you question, well, how do I get out of this? In other words, to push the narrative forward. It seemed like that was the plot point or a writing miscue from my point of view. Regardless of that, this is a funny, humorous, and intelligent show. Has some deep moments. Keep it here on Zenny62, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and look forward to episodes 4, 5, and 6.